How's it going, everybody? This is Beat the Bush. If you have a lot of junk around in your house, you might consider if you should sell it, donate it, or maybe just throw it in the trash altogether. Now, for any given item that you want to get rid of, you can sell them online through Amazon or eBay. For more local stuff, you can sell them on Craigslist or apps like Close5 or Letgo. Generally, what I find to be most worth it is if you sell really heavy things, you really want to go local in these items because the shipping will cost you a large amount and it might offset the profits that you would make if you do not have the person buying the item pay for the shipping. What I want to concentrate on today is if you should spend your time trying to sell little tiny items like these where they might only go for $10 and then shipping you might charge $5, and at the end of the day, after you pay all the fees, pay all the shipping, you might only net like $2-3. The point here comes all the way back down to how much your time is worth, and I've talked about this in length on this channel. How much will you be able to earn if you do not do this eBay activity and instead concentrate on something else? Perhaps if you're a contractor, you just use more of your time to earn more money. You probably earn more than $10 an hour. If you're a contractor for, a web development or something, you likely earn a lot more than that. Listing a certain item takes a finite amount of time, and especially with personal goods, you have to take a picture of every single item, and you need to take a really good picture too if you want the item to sell. By the time you upload the picture, research how much it's supposed to cost, write the description and things like that. By the time the person actually buys it, by the time you put it all in a box and ship it, you might have already spent maybe, I'd say if you're really efficient, you probably can do all this let's say 15 minutes. Let's say you aggregate like 10 items all together and you're able to do all of this, let's say in 2.5 hours. If let's say you value your time incrementally at $10 an hour, that means each item needs to make more than $2.50 per item. And therefore, if this thing only makes me $2, I might as well just spend my time instead working on whatever I'm better at, maybe consulting, maybe on my web stuff, on YouTube things. So this is a purely trade-off of where you should put your time. Should you put your time on working on endeavors that make you more money, or should you just try to get rid of little knickknacks that isn't worth much, which will take up your time instead? If you find out that something is not worth your time, it might be better to try to find similar items and group them together. Then perhaps you might be able to use less time and list it and maybe make a bigger profit, because each item sort of takes about the same time to list, sort of the same time to deal with. If you're dealing with Craigslist people, I find that a lot of people are flaky on Craigslist. They might contact you, ask you about it, the deal might fall through, and you might end up spending a lot of time dealing with a single transaction. Same thing with Close5 or Letgo. It's going to take a certain amount of time for you to get rid of a certain item. And if it's a higher dollar value item, it might be more worth your time. However, if it's things like, $10, $20 or less, the profit that you gain from it, it's going to be low enough that it may not be worth your time. The profit on Close5, Letgo, or Craigslist is going to be the dollar value that they pay you rather than minus any shipping costs or transaction costs, because on Amazon or eBay, you have to pay a fee to Amazon or eBay. You have to pay a fee for using the shipping service. If you get paid by PayPal, you also have to pay a certain fee to PayPal as well. Now, instead of selling these random little items, it might be more worth your time to just pack all these together and donate them instead. If you are in an itemized deduction situation, that means any incremental amount that you donate, it's going to reduce your income all that much more. Let's say you itemize your deductions already because you have a pretty high mortgage interest, so that it'll push you into the itemized deduction area. So then when you donate something, let's say this thing is $10, you would effectively reduce your income by $10. That means $10 of your income is not paid in taxes, therefore saving you about $2.50. If I were to get $2.50 from this item, then that means I could have saved a lot of time by just aggregating a lot of all these knickknacks and then just kind of writing it off on donations instead. This would essentially save you a lot of time, and at the same time, you can donate to a good cause as well. Now, when should you actually trash something is when something is of zero value at all whatsoever to anybody. Things that are of zero value, or likely maybe hot water pot that do not work, electronics that do not work, all of those things, yes, they go in the trash finally. If anything that are still somewhat functional, then you can donate still. If you have a lot of stuff around like I do, and especially the little items, you might want to consider how it impacts your bottom line, especially when you donate it. Therefore, when you do donate it, you can essentially remove all this work that you have to do, that you're trying to sell something and then you make a profit of 25 cents or something, you make a profit of $1. It might just be better off if you just donate it instead. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below. Let me know if this helps you reduce the amount of work that you need to put in trying to get rid of the stuff that you do not need. If you're interested in supporting this channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook, and if you don't like this or this service, you can cancel it before the subscription ends, and yet you can still keep this audiobook and still help benefit this channel. If you're interested in supporting this channel, I have a Patreon over here where I give various perks at various contribution levels. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over here and click that bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you get a notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching.